welcome. My name is Chris.
And I'm James, and this is Hot Shot Chefs.
Today's episode is all about eggs. We're getting egg crazy, and it's really gotten me thinking about the age-old question, which came first, the chicken or the egg?
And I have a very good answer to that. See, back in school, I was learning all about, I had an evolution
James,
class, and there was
James,
eggs.
no.
No, but I got a good answer for them. There's, the dinosaurs and the eggs, and, they came from, like, the birds and the feathers. And
All right, James, we're done. Chicken or the egg? No.
No. We talked about this.
So the answer to the age-old question is obviously eggs. Right, James? James? Come on. James, come on.
No.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's eggs.
There you have it, folks. Eggs. So today, we've got two very simple, straightforward recipes we're going to be doing. Scrambled eggs, kicked up with a little seasoning, as well as breakfast sandwich made with some fried eggs.
Both of these are very simple dishes, and each of them can be done before work, only like 15 minutes max, no pressure, minimal stress, and they both taste great and get you a nice full breakfast before you head out.
Hello. So today, we're going to start off with our first dish, scrambled eggs. A little sauteed onions, a variety of seasonings that makes it better than your average scrambled eggs.
This last spring, we flew out to California to visit a couple of friends, and we decided to make breakfast with them. And this was one of the staple dishes in that breakfast. And they said this was the best scrambled eggs they'd ever had. And today, we're going to make them for you.
First things first, onions. To make sure you get a nice, even cook throughout the sauteing process and you don't have any giant chunks of onions showing up in your scrambled eggs, I'm going to show you how I properly dice an onion for nice, even cook throughout. Okay, first things first. You're going to want to take the tip of the onion, cut that off like I've already done, while keeping this end intact. It will hold your onion together as you start to cut into it. Make sure you have a sharp knife. I use a nice chef's knife here, and you're going to want to cut right in the middle of that root end right there. So, after you've done that, you got two halves, and they're both held together by the root ends right there. I always take the first outer layer off of the onion, kind of clean it up a little bit, get rid of the nasty parts on both sides. So you got an onion ready to go. And there you have it. And these two, I'm just gonna give them a quick wash so that they're ready to go, and we'll continue on the dicing process. Alright, so here you have it. Two fresh, clean, rinsed onion halves. And fun fact, if you rinse onions underneath cold water...
No one cares.
Anyway, moving on. After you've washed, cleaned, sliced them in half, the next step is you're going to take your sharp knife and you're going to make horizontal cuts through the onion, like such. Carefully you don't cut your fingers. No one wants blood on their eggs or their onions. Second step, after you've cut the onions in half, you're going to make vertical cuts down the center of the onion. And you probably want to hold on to both sides of the onion so it doesn't push out this different spots. And then, after you've done that, you simply cut through it, giving yourself nice, even onion pieces. And there you have it. So far, we've been all about onions, but what's an egg show without eggs, am I right? There are a few different ways to get the egg out of the shell. First way, probably the most common way, you just give it a solid tap on the side of a bowl using two hands, peel the shell back, and drop it in the bowl. Second way, if you're feeling a little fancy, you can use the one-handed approach, kind of hold it like a baseball on either side. Whoop. And then again, give it a swift knock on the bowl, and using your thumb and index finger, pull the shell apart and drop the yolk in. The third way, you could always just throw it at the wall. Alright, so now we've got all of our eggs cracked and ready in the bowl. Before we whisk them together, I like to add a little bit of milk. It helps in the end, making the texture a little fluffier, and it also lightens the color of the eggs a little bit. So, here we go. I usually throw in about a teaspoon of milk for every egg yolk you have in there. You can eyeball it, you can use a measuring spoon, whatever you're comfortable with. And then, once you've got that in there, take a fork and give it a nice quick whisk. Make sure you add and you get all the bottom bits of the egg yolk, and the faster you can do it incorporates the most air you can, again contributes to the fluffy texture of the scrambled eggs in the end. And there you have it. Now that the eggs are all whisked together, I'm gonna go get started sauteing the onions while James adds some flavor.
Now that Chris got our eggs nice and ready, I'm going to show you what spices I use to spice up our eggs in California. Some salt, some black pepper, garlic powder, and Italian seasoning. Now, as far as measurements go, you can use a lot or a little. It's really what your taste buds desire. It really just comes down to the perfect ratio to get that perfect seasoning in your scrambled eggs.
Alright, now we're going to start to saute the onions. I've got a skillet preheating, a little bit of olive oil. You want to make sure it's nice and hot before you add the onions to it, so you get the nice sizzling sound. It's a good indication you did things right. And then we'll stir them around a little bit, get them all nice and coated with the oil. And you're going to cook these down so they have a nice translucent color. Even a little brown around the edges is not the worst thing in the world. Adds a lot of flavor, and it's got a really great texture to the scrambled eggs once we're all done.
Here's the important process of actually seasoning the eggs. Like I said before, we're going to do it by just using our eyeballs. We add a little bit of salt, some black pepper. I love black pepper in my eggs. A dash of garlic powder. And last but not least, the all-important Italian seasoning. Once you got that all in your bowl, give it a nice quick mix. Now your eggs are ready. I'm going to send it back to Chris, who's got our onion cooking.
Alright, we've got our onions nice and cooked down. Got a little caramel color to them. The color is good. We're ready to add the eggs. Pour those in there. I drop the heat down just a little bit because eggs like to cook fast, and this whole process is going to be over rather quickly. The idea for nice fluffy eggs is constant movement. I always take the edges, pull them to the center, and even give the center a little whisk to just break it up so you get those nice fluffy eggs. Alright, now you can see them start to come together. They're in rather larger chunks, which is what you want, and they're nice and fluffy, have a good color. You even see the caramelized onions in there a little bit too. These look great. Now, it's your choice. You can, if you like them a little wetter, you could take them off now. Otherwise, you can keep them going for just a little bit. Don't want to keep them on for too long, otherwise they get to be a little rubbery, and that's usually not a good thing. So I'm going to end them here. Now you've got nice fluffy scrambled eggs. Looks delicious.
Alright, our eggs look great, they smell great. We'll see if they taste great.
Cheers, James. Just like California.
Delicious.
Alright, now that we're finished with our scrambled eggs, time to move on to the second item on our menu, which I know for a fact is one of James' personal favorites. Breakfast sandwiches with a fried egg.
What? What? Oh. Did you say breakfast sandwiches?
Yes, James.
With a fried egg?
With a fried egg.
I love breakfast sandwiches so much because you know what? As the week goes on, you get busy, you get tired, and you're sick by Friday of all that boring cereal. So what you want to do is build a breakfast sandwich. This is what I use. English muffins, turkey sausage, slice of cheese, and of course, our eggs.
There you have it. We're gonna let James calm down for a minute. We're gonna get back in the kitchen and put one of these babies together.
So for the first part of our breakfast sandwich, we want to tackle the sausage first. This will be the longest cook time. Depending on how long it will cook for is very dependent on how thick the patty slice is. So I'm just going to cut a couple of slices out here. And while I'm doing this, I already have the pan going with the spray in there. And this will make sure that my process goes a lot faster, having a nice preheated pan. So you just start hearing that sizzle going. Now we're going to leave it in there about 15 minutes, like I said, depending on how thick the slice is, give or take, and about halfway through we'll make sure we flip it so there's a nice even cook.
Alright, now it's time for the fried egg. I usually get a little small skillet, add a little pat of butter, just to kind of lube things up in there, spread it around, make sure the pan's, again, nice and hot, right before you drop the egg in. And so, once the butter's melted, you crack the egg on the side of the pan. Make sure, try not to get any shells in there. There you go. And I like to work a little quickly here. Just kind of wrangle in the egg whites to make it more of a smaller shape that the egg can fit on the sandwich. And while it's starting to set up, give it a little quick seasoning, some salt, some pepper, anything else that you may like. And go right on top at this time now. And then it's going to start to bubble. The edges might get a little brown on you. Kind of break up the egg white. Wait for it to set up, and then you could do the flip. I do the flip. There's a few different ways you could do it. You could do it in the pan. You could use a spatula, or you could even cover the egg itself and have it cook underneath the cover of it. I myself like to give it just a quick little flip. Let the egg whites kind of set up on the other side. Give it a few seconds there. And then once that's done, flip it back over, and there you have it. Egg whites nice and cooked, the oat yolk still nice and runny. Make it for a perfect addition to any breakfast sandwich.
Now that we have our sausage and eggs going, the last step we'll do before building our sandwich is dealing with this English muffin. We're going to throw it in a toaster so it gets a nice crisp feel, and right when it comes out, we're going to put some butter on there. Last thing, throw a piece of cheese so it starts warming up for your sandwich, and then by the time it's all built, it will melt perfectly. We're all done, almost. We have the English muffin toasted, the butter is melted on there already, the cheese is getting warmed by our sausage. Last thing is getting this egg on there. Just slide this right on there, nice and gentle. Trying to get that yolk intact still so it can still be running on us. Perfect. Just top it off, and there you have it.
Alright everybody, breakfast sandwiches been made, assembled, and ready to go. James, been waiting all afternoon for this.
Yes.
You ready to give these bad boys a whirl?
Board ready.
Alright, let's do it. Ooh, cheers.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
So good. So good.
And there you have it. Delicious. Not so nutritious, breakfast sandwiches are fried egg and turkey sausage. Thanks. Bit of milk. I usually put about a teaspoon for every egg yolk that you have in there. Careful though, you don't put too much egg or too.
Some butter on there right when it's out. And just before the sandwich is complete, we're going to throw a slice of cheese on there so it melts super